All right, Mom, I need cigarettes and a drink. Let's go. Yeah. All right, I think I'm live. Hold on, let me check this shit. Okay, microphone's working. Everything seems to be working. I think so. Let me turn this shit down so I don't echo. All right, if you can hear me, say something, do something, click something, type something. I don't know. Shit, do something. Um, as always, you can just fast forward to the 5 minute mark. I did play music before, but if you missed it last time, they like copyrighted my shit, so no one actually saw the video because it was, I guess, copyright infringement. So I can't play music, so I'm sorry, guys. Um, I could sing, but I think that would be copyright infringement as well. Oh man, cranberry, please. Um, hopefully we have a semi-funny, semi-serious show tonight. I'm trying to get this shit situated with. I'm sorry if you're here now. I'm sorry. I'm so late. I went to go see my actual movie. You know what? Fuck all that. I'll start in about 3.5 minutes. So you have a little bit of dead air just because I'm finished writing some stuff up. Um, just try to get all this shit down. Um, all right. Excuse me for a second. Yeah, thank you. All right. Sorry about that. I'm here. Um, I have no kid tonight. My baby is gone camping, so I will be smoking during the broadcast. So I should be a little more calm while doing this. If anyone is here, and I know I'm so fucking late, and I do apologize, but if anyone is here, please type something or say something or do something so I know that you're here. Um, if anyone can hear me, I want to make sure I'm actually being live and um, and I know I'm so late, so shit. There's nothing I can do about that. I'm sorry. All right, Naked Tiger. All right, good. Somebody's here. Now we'll be talking to my goddamn self for 35 to 45 minutes. Oh man. Now I'm gonna be typing in the background a little bit because I have little words that I want to define. But give me 15 seconds. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Uh, oh shit. Is it time to start? Oh, in 5 seconds. Three, two, one. Hello, and welcome to the Church of Fuck You. I'm St. Patrick. Um, I know I'm so fucking late, and I apologize to everyone. We actually went to go see The Conjuring 2, which I didn't think was going to run that long, but apparently it did. So I apologize. Halfway decent movie. It was had a couple jump scares. Nothing too overly crazy. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't you know like have you up at night being scared of shit. Um. Well, this fucking let's jump right into it. Yes, I did see how the left lost their shit over the Brits exiting the EU, or I think it's the EU. I think it's the EU. I hope I'm saying that right. Um, European Union. I actually did see that, and I thought it was really interesting. I thought it was really funny. One of the things that I find so interesting with the, I guess, see, I hate to pinpoint it as like left and right and all that shit because I don't want to just be, I don't want to be that person. But I did find it funny that some people who I don't know. It seems like they have a selective hatred of Wall Street because they hate Wall Street. They can't stand it. They want to tear it down. It's horrible. It's bad. Fuck Wall Street. Fuck all those rich people. But like when the Brit left, they're like, oh my God, Wall Street is taking a pounding. See, this is why we can't do it. Look at Wall Street. And it's like, you can't have it both fucking ways. You can't say, fuck you, Wall Street. Fuck all you people, all the money you making, all the money you stealing. Forget all y'all. And then turn around and be like, oh my God, Wall Street is affected. What are we going to do? This is horrible. It's like, pick a fucking side, people. And that actually brings me to my point tonight. I have been hearing a lot. I mean, a lot of people. And if you are on social media, if you watch any news telecasts or anything, or fuck it, if you just talk to anyone, a lot of people use phrases and words and certain things that they just clearly don't fucking understand. And a lot of times it's overkill. A lot of times it's just it doesn't apply to the situation. Or a lot of times they'll just say, they want a certain thing and they preach about a certain thing and they scream about a certain thing until that certain thing isn't convenient. And I don't really fully understand. I don't really fully think they understand exactly what they are wanting. I think a lot of people just decide, hey, we just want to, this sounds like a good cause. Let's jump on this bandwagon and fuck it, let's go for it without fully understanding exactly what they're signing up for or what bandwagon they're jumping on. Now, I do have a couple, and I invite you guys to chime in as much as you would like, please. I do have a couple that I really want to jump into. The first one is socialism. Now, to me, it seems. To me, it seems a little bit, I want to say, it's an overkill how some people use the word socialism because everything is considered socialism on some people, according to some people. And then according to other people, nothing is like a socialism or socialism is a great thing or a wonderful thing. And I think what we need to do is probably one, define what socialism is. Socialism is the government pretty much running shit for how do I word this? The government is running things not for profit, but for the people. Meaning everything that the government produces, they're producing for the people, not for profit. And capitalism is completely different. Capitalism, the government has no control over that. The market sets the price as opposed to the government setting the price. So the argument between capitalism and socialism is a lot of people say socialism is better because the government can regulate certain things and set the price on certain things, and it makes it better for everyone involved. People feel like the free market is better because once you put your hands in the government, there's a lot of anti-government people out there who get nervous about anything the government does or says, and they kind of like shy away from it. Now, here's the deal. There's certain different. America's not a socialist country. Where I'm probably far from it, a socialist country. We do have, I'm sorry, not America, United States. We do have socialist programs, which is a difference. We're like a hybrid. We're not France. We're not, Canada. We have our own little. Our market is based upon what people will pay for, which in theory is very fucking good. Because if you don't want to pay for it, you shouldn't be forced to pay for it. The problem is when certain aspects of socialism comes in, this is where people who are used to the capitalistic system gets highly fucking irritated. Because what happened is, say like, for instance, health insurance. When it came down to health insurance now has become a regulated, mandated government thing. The problem is, which a lot of people found out the hard fucking way, is that when the government mandates that you have something, you can't set the fucking price because you don't have an option in buying it. So if the same way like with cell phones, and I don't know if you guys heard about this shit before, but the way cell phones went is that the cell phones collectively got together, and this was a huge deal. And if you don't believe me, research it. It's quite amazing. Cell phones got together, all the companies pretty much got together, and they started setting their own prices, but they set their own prices collectively. Like that whole, if you cancel, it's a $175 fee. Cell phones decided, or it was like $175 fee or $100 fee or some shit like that. Cell phones companies decided to do that shit as a collective bargaining agreement, as you will. They colluded to pretty much say, hey, look, we can't set this if no one else sets it, because if no one else sets it, no one will buy our service. So what they did was they all collectively got together and said, hey, this is a way to, okay, we'll all be on the same playing field, so let's all have this mandated fee. There's no fee to fucking switch cell phones. I mean, let's be real. I mean, if you turn that shit off, they just turn that shit off. Those contracts are paper fucking thin. So, I mean, it's not like they're going to go out their fucking mind. And the only thing it did was just help them from having you switch every time somebody lowers their fucking plan. So now it's all fucking bullshit. But pretty much that's what happens as far as with the whole mandated government thing. The only difference is you can go without a cell phone. Most people don't, but you can go without a cell phone. If it's government mandated that you go without health insurance or you pay a penalty, either way you're getting fucked. Either way you have to pay something. So that's where the whole problem with socialism come in at for some people, is that when the government mandates shit and the government gets their fingers into shit, a lot of times it goes fucking sour. And it goes fucking sour for the people who are barely making it from paycheck to paycheck. It's not hurting the 1%, because fine, instead of you making 200 billion, you made 150 billion. You're not going to fucking starve. But if you're making, 50,000 and all of a sudden your 50,000 is cut down to 40 or cut down to 45, somebody may go without a fucking meal because that's a huge chunk of your fucking paycheck. So that's where people get irritated with socialism. Now, the reason I say people use it wrong is because everything now is fucking socialism, and that is it's a fucking overkill. If the government comes out and say they want to do, they want to paint a street light or something, it's like, fuck socialism. It's just like, what the hell? And I've seen so many times where people be like, especially like older people, and I'm not talking about one side or the other, so don't take it as me attacking them or whatever. But it's so funny how people are like, fuck socialism. For socialism is bullshit. As long as I get my Social Security check and as long as I get my, Medicaid or Medicare, I don't care. Fuck socialism. And it's like, you do realize that's a part of it, right? I mean, it's like you do realize that's what technically it is. It's not complete socialism, but it is a socialistic program. And it's just like, people, I understand that you are inbred and designed to hate socialism. And me personally, I'm not a huge fan of socialism, but I do understand that some socialist programs are a benefit to society. And on the flip side of that, I just want to say this, I hate people. I cannot stand people who defend socialism by the same fucking sentence. And I've heard this literally 90 times in the last fucking year. Every time someone has a problem with socialism, the first thing people say is, well, you like driving on roads, don't you? Like, if that is the only fucking socialist program that you can have to justify socialism, then that's fine. But to me, you can't, I mean, that whole, you like driving on roads, that whole argument is so fucking irritating and so fucking asinine, because if you're telling me that if we lived in an area, people couldn't pool together to pave a fucking road and not have to pay the government 5% or 10% of our paychecks for the next 100 fucking years. We'll pave our own fucking roads. I'm sorry. All right. Yeah, I know. Socialism, communism, it's all in the same. It's 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 just, I don't know. I'm going to get to that today because we're going to focus on words and phrases that people don't seem to understand. The next one, which I personally get a kick out of, is the term bigot. Now, I know if you're in this church, I'm sure you've been called a bigot before, because I know I have. If you are alive, everyone has been called a fucking bigot. But here's the funny part of being a bigot. If you actually read the definition of a bigot, everyone's a fucking bigot. And I'm just being honest with you. Everyone's a fucking bigot. The exact definition of a bigot is a person who is intolerant towards those holding different opinions. That is the definition of a bigot. Well, I understand that some people may feel like, oh, well, I never do that. We all do. I hold difference of opinions to people who decide to molest children, or who think, being in love with a 10-year-old is something that is fond and wonderful. Yes, I'm a little intolerant to that. So technically, I'm a bigot. If you hate people who murder people, if you hate people who rape people, there are guys out there who only get their rocks off by raping women. And they feel like there's nothing wrong with that. I'm intolerant towards that. I'm intolerant towards that opinion. So yes, I'm a fucking bigot. There are people out here who feel like, oh, well, white people are better than black people, or black people are better than white people, or Asian people are better than all you motherfuckers. And yes, I'm intolerant towards that opinion. So yes, I'm a bigot. The problem is we have painted bigot as being this horrible, horrible thing, when in actuality, bigot just means you are intolerant towards someone's opinion that is different than yours. Whatever the fuck that opinion is. So everyone seems to love and always throw out there how, if someone says something that they don't like, oh, you're a bigot, oh, you're a bigot. And technically they're correct. But it's hypocritical for anyone ever to call anyone a fucking bigot, because we're all fucking bigots. We all have shit that we don't fucking like or we don't agree with, and somebody else holds the opinion. I fucking hate Dallas. There may be a person in this world, somewhere maybe in Texas, who feel like the Dallas Cowboys are the greatest team ever created. I'm a fucking bigot when it comes to that, because fuck them. So yes, we're all bigots in our own way. Oh yeah, Asians are better. Oh, here we go. Starting this bullshit. No, I'm just okay. But no, technically we're all fucking bigots. So I don't know. To me, I always find it funny. I really do get a kick out of it when people are constantly, oh, you're a fucking bigot. You're a fucking bigot. Oh, you don't like this. Well, you're a fucking bigot. Okay, well, fine. We're all fucking bigots. Okay, let's move on. I mean, it's literally calling someone a bigot is like calling someone a fucking human. Oh, you breathe air? You're a fucking human. Okay, you're a fucking human. Let's move on. I don't even understand what the argument is. All right, I'm sorry. Let's keep going. All right, we got bigot out the way. We got socialism out the way. Another one that I really find interesting, and I actually said this one before, so please forgive me if I'm repeating myself. Prison reform. There is a huge, huge debate, issue, topic, whatever you want to call it, on prison reform right now. There are a number of people who are putting their pride in prison reform. And that's what they want. They're stressing. We need prison reform. We need to stop sending so many people to jail. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. Okay. Now, before we start in the actual problem of the definition of how these people use it, let's just analyze one thing. There are 315 million people in the U.S. As the last time I checked, there are about 3 million people in jail in the U.S. I think it was around 3 million. That includes state and federal prisons. Okay, so we had 315 million. 3 million people are currently incarcerated in this country. Now, I know somebody will be like, that's way too fucking much, but can we put this into some kind of perspective? That is less than 1% of our population. The way some of these people talk, we need prison reform because like 50% of our fucking population is in jail, and it's nowhere near. Another thing that I also find interesting and about the whole, I guess, prison reform factor is that what exactly do they want to reform? And I guess that's the question. Because every time something fucking crazy happens, like every time somebody go in and blow some shit up or kill somebody or do something fucking stupid and crazy, everyone wants that person locked up. And locked up for as long as they could possibly be locked up. Throw it in jail. Throw the fucking key away. Just done with. But then they scream prison reform. Because they're tired of sending people to jail. Well, fuckers, you can't have it both ways. You can't say every time something bad happens, throw this fucker in jail forever, and then turn around and say, well, we need to stop sending people to jail. Which way do you want it? And this actually started, I really started thinking about it during that whole rape case thing when the dude only got 6 months in prison and everybody was so outraged and they wanted the judge fired and everything. And I found this so fucking hilarious because the majority of the people who were screaming to lock this dude up forever is the same exact people who would scream, we need prison reform. Well, dude, make up your fucking mind. That is what prison reform is. It's people who should go to jail for a long time, either not going to jail for as long or not going to jail at all. That's what it is. And this is what you're screaming about. This is what, like Hillary Clinton's went around. We need prison reform. We need prison reform. And everyone is for prison reform until, cocaine or crack hits their streets, or until there are drive-by shootings, or until a child gets kidnapped or raped or killed, or until an old lady gets beat up. Everyone's for prison reform until something fucking happens that requires prison. Make up your fucking mind. Get a fucking stance. I don't mind what stance you're going to take. Either you're for prison reform or you're against prison reform. I'm fine with it. But stop jumping fucking both sides. Don't scream we need to redo the whole legal system and the legal system is bullshit. The legal system is bullshit. And then I see a story on, it was this one guy who just got sentenced to life in prison because he broke into this lady's house and beat the fuck out of her. Like, literally beat the fuck out of her. The whole, I guess the attack was caught on a nanny cam. And come to find out, he's been charged with 38. He's been charged in 38 cases. He had 17 felony convictions. And finally, they locked his ass up. And everyone on there was like, he's been locked up 17 times. Why the fuck does he keep getting out? Which, again, any logical person would think, yeah, why the fuck is he keep getting out? He's been locked up 17 times. Why is it number 18 the last straw? But that's what prison reform is. That's what having a lesser sentence is. This is exactly what you wanted. And when people get what they want, they're like, fuck this shit. We don't want it. That's bullshit. So please don't use that term anymore if you don't really know what it means. And by all means, if anyone ever uses that term, just kindly ask them, so you're for rapists getting smaller sentences, or you're for child molesters getting smaller sentences, you're for murderers getting smaller sentences. Because if you're not, then you don't want fucking prison reform. Unless you just want to do the drugs. And if that's your whole argument, then fine. Just go for one drug, marijuana. That's just what most people want. They really don't want heroin addicts or crack addicts and all that shit off the streets because they feel like that's deadly or that's evil or whatever they feel. But they want prison reform for marijuana. So just say, okay, fine, just change the marijuana law. You don't need prison reform. Just fucking make marijuana legal, call it a day. Done. I'm sorry, man. I'm a little amped up. My last one, and if anybody has anything, you can, like I say, please feel free to chime in. My last one that really irritates the fuck out of me that everybody uses is the word racism or racist. Have you noticed now, and this is the funniest shit in the world, that you are not even allowed to hate anything anymore? Now, my church was built off hating someone. Or hating something. I'm sorry, I'm going to say hating someone. Hating something. This is what the church was founded on. Okay? That is our foundation. Alright? That's what we build this beautiful house on. Where I have tens and tens of people listening to me. Okay? We were built on hate. So, it strikes me as odd is that now we can't even hate anymore. Because if you hate someone, you don't hate them because they're an asshole. You don't hate them because they're stupid. You hate them because you're a racist. even when race has nothing to fucking do with it. In my video, what I did on the Muslim one, on the top 5 reasons people hate Muslims, which I am getting slaughtered on. It's like 800 dislikes and 500 likes. I'm getting slaughtered. So many people has been calling me racist, like racist. Um, this is what I don't understand. Muslim is not a race. It's not. But it's their go-to word anytime someone says anything about Muslim. If you're white, and I feel sorry for white people now because you guys have got it fucking rough. You can't hate anyone except white people. And that is bad. Because black people, we get to hate everybody. Spanish people get to hate everybody. Asian people, they can hate every fucking body. White people, you can only hate white people. Because if you hate anybody else who isn't white, you don't hate them because they're an asshole. You hate them because you're a fucking racist. And I just find it odd that that's like the go-to word. And yeah, Nigga Tiger, I actually agree with you. It kills any argument. It would kill any argument. And the reason I say people are using it and don't know, like I say, understand what it means. And we can pull up the definition, but I'm all sure you guys know what racism is. I'm sorry, I should have this shit up. I will read it just because I'm gonna prejudice, discrimination, and okay, I'm gonna fuck this word up, so please forgive me. My reading skills aren't the best. Antagonism directed against someone of a different race based on the belief that one's own race is superior. So we all get the gist of that. You believe your race is better, so you are prejudiced, you show discrimination, you show superiority to over people because you feel like your race is better than their race. That is racism. Okay? Saying you don't like someone because they're an asshole is not racism. It's saying that you don't like someone because they're a fucking asshole. And I find it so funny, like a lot of time in sports, you can never say, like, white people, they may hate LeBron James, and I am no fan of this fucking clown either. But you can hate LeBron James all you want if you're black. But if a white person come out and say that they can't stand LeBron James because he's blah, 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 immediately it's because, oh, you don't like him because he's black. No, you may not like him because he's an asshole. You may not like him because you don't like what he did to, in Miami or Cleveland or whatever else. You may not like him because he takes 42 fucking steps to go to the basket and never gets a fucking travel call. You can like him. You cannot like him for a variety of reasons because he is fucking. What is he, like 6'7", 6'8", and he flops like a little girl playing soccer. You can have millions of reasons not to like him, but your reasons are always dismissed because you're just a racist. And I'm sorry, I was reading that and skimming real fast. And actually, I do agree with you, Mr. Tiger. You know what's funny? And this is one of the things, and if you're not reading the comments, he was like, who's more racist? The person calling out Islam for as a flawed ideology, or the person who assumes are all Middle Easterns? And this is what I find funny, because if you say Muslim, immediately you're talking about Middle Eastern, Iraq, Iran, everything of the case. Or you're talking about black people, which I find funny as well. So immediately in their brain, you're talking about a minority, which, okay, fine. But one of the things that I find funny as far as with Trump is that when he said he wanted to get rid of illegal immigrants, the first thing people said is he hates Mexicans. So is it more racist that he said, like, he never put a name to it as far as I heard. Maybe he did, I don't know. But he said illegal immigrants. And every time he say illegal immigrants, people always say Mexicans or always say, Salvadorians or Guatemalans or whatever the case may be. They always say someone from either Mexico or Central America. What if he's talking about people like from fucking Egypt? Or Russia, or France, or whoever the fuck else snuck in here? I find it racist that as soon as somebody says illegal immigrants, that they immediately assume that he's talking about Mexicans. Isn't that racism of itself? But whatever, we'll just digress from that. I remember I went to the store, and I was walking with my daughter, and we had to go get some shoes or something. And we standing in line, and this white lady is waiting on this black lady. She's a white cashier waiting on a black lady. And the white lady was getting very agitated because the black lady was taking forever, because apparently she had her fucking 50-cent coupon and she was going to use this bitch come hell or high water. And you can see the white lady is like, fucking vein is about to bust in her head because she's just like, dude, I will give you the fucking 50 cents. Just get the fuck out my line. But, she's playing it cool and she was trying to be nice and she was trying to be, I guess, calm and collective. So she, you can tell, but you could kind of tell she was getting agitated. So black lady eventually left. We paid for our shit. We left. And my daughter immediately, that was racist. And I'm like, what was racist? And she's like, she didn't want to help that black lady. And I'm like, she helped us and we're black. Why the fuck would you think she didn't want to help the black lady? And you're like, well, she was getting angry and agitated because the black lady was taking too long. And I'm like, no, she was getting angry not because she was black, but because she was taking too fucking long. What the fuck? Like seriously, is that our go-to thing now? And it just irritates the fuck out of me. Everyone uses the term racism. And racism is just another code for, I don't have a valid argument as to why I can go against you, so I'm just going to throw out the term racist because it paints you in a bad light. It makes you bad, and they do the same shit with bigot. I can't argue your point. I can't disagree with your point in an intelligent manner. So let me just throw out these key phrases and words to make you feel like shit and to make you look like shit. It makes me feel better. So you're a racist and you're a bigot because you don't agree with what I say, and it's all bullshit. It's all fucking bullshit. If you're saying, hey, I'm better than this person, not because I, am actually better because, I can do this better or I could do that better. I'm better than this person because my skin is black and his skin is white. That's racism. That's the definition of fucking racism. To think you're superior to someone based solely on the color of your fucking skin. And don't tell me black people aren't racist as well, because how many black people think they can be better than white boys at playing basketball or football or whatever other fucking sport you want to throw out there that black people play on a regular basis? They're not judged. There are a number of black people who feel like they're better. Does that make them? I mean, it's not the end of the world because it's a fucking sport, but in and of itself, that's fucking racism. You're saying you're superior over this person just based solely on the fucking color of the skin. But that's what racism is. But we don't use it that way in the society anymore. We use it just to define every fucking thing. Anytime we're pissed off, we're mad, we're angry, we're frustrated, it comes out the fucking R word. And it's fucking nonsense. It's absolutely it's nothing but nonsense. All right, man. I know I was late, and I do apologize. I'll go for a little bit longer. I do want to say, I don't know if you guys checked out my video this week about the whole... Oh, yeah! Haha! Haha! I know, I've heard that argument before, too. I actually really love that argument that black people can't be racist. I guess apparently racist is... isn't it racist of itself? Only white people can be racist because they're just evil. It's like, okay, so you're judging a whole group of people based solely on the color of their skin, but you're judging them on this because you feel like they're judging you based on the color of your skin. So, yeah. And honestly, it drives me insane how people keep trying to portray and act like racism is the biggest issue in this fucking world. Racism is the biggest issue that we face in this country today. And I'm not going to harp on Mr. Obama because he has enough fucking issues right now. But it just drives me insane that racism is still portrayed as the biggest fucking issue. Sorry, excuse me. One of the reasons I find it really, really funny is because there are a number of people who scream racism and racist and all the isms you can think of. There are a number of people in this world who scream racism who can't even fucking spell racism. There are a number of people in this world who scream racist who can't even fucking spell racist. And you talking about racism is the biggest issue in this country? Really? Really? I'm sorry. Our statistic now is 7 in 10, I believe, kids graduate high school. 7 in 10. We're at 70%. Some states are actually happy and proud because they got their average up to like 5 in 10 or 6 in 10. We have a education system where there are people graduating school who cannot read, who cannot do basic math. And just hear me out on this. You have people graduating who cannot read and cannot do basic math, but they graduate. And then you have people even dumber than them who can't even fucking graduate, not being able to read and write and do basic math. But racism is the biggest issue. It's the system. It's the man. It's the whole government taking us down. And yeah, I'm sorry, that drives me fucking insane. Um, Racism is an issue. Yes. Is racism the major issue? Fuck no. Nowhere near. Racism is not even in the top probably 10 issues that we face in America today. Nowhere fucking near. And I know some people are arguing, well, what's the other 10? I don't know. I haven't even thought of it yet. But I can tell you that racism is not the top 10. I know education is one. I know the fucking economy is another. I know fucking, people killing each other like fucking rabid dogs is another one. I mean, we have so many fucking issues to keep worrying about what somebody cares. And this is probably the biggest deal. Majority of the people who really care about skin color are the worst fucking people off on the face of this earth anyway. They couldn't do shit to you if they wanted to. They seriously couldn't. Like, who the fuck cares if some hillbilly living in a trailer park in fucking Louisiana hates black people? Who the fuck? You will never see this fucker in your life. Ever. He can hate every fucking body. Who cares? Who cares if some black kid in, some ghetto ass neighborhood in Chicago hates white people? Who the fuck cares? I'm not trying to be an asshole right now, but chances are he's not even going to make it out of his fucking neighborhood. So who cares? And I know that sounds bad and wrong, and I do apologize, but can we put shit into perspective? How about we worry more about people actually surviving? We have children starving every day in this country. In a country where we throw away millions of pounds of food a year. We have children going to bed starving. We have children going to bed hungry. We're a country who throws away food by the fucking ton. But yet people are starving. Can we have any common sense with this? All right, I'm sorry. Okay, hold on. What do you think about privatizing schools? I already graduated a couple years ago, but you're a parent, so that's something you might... You know what? I actually think privatizing schools would be better because they can have their own standards and their own curriculum, and they can do whatever they need to do. I find it funny how there was this huge uproar about what was it? Oh shit! What was Bush trying to do? The whole voucher thing, where pretty much you can go to any school that you want, and so many people fought that shit tooth and nail. Fuck that shit. No, we can't have it. That's just bullshit. We're just abandoning the schools that need the money. Blah 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 blah. And what I find funny is that this dude, he may not have been the brightest bulb in the box, but this dude was actually trying to give people a way out. He couldn't fix their school system. He wasn't even pretending to fix their school system. He said, fuck it. If we can't fix it, you go to whatever school you want to go to. And people said, no, we don't want that. We want you to fix this school. So the school never got fixed. The kids are still fucking struggling or dumb as a box of rocks. And nothing has fucking changed. So, and this is another thing that brings me back to the whole fucking video that I did this week, or actually did yesterday, where, we have our way out. We can get our way out, but we rather sit back and bitch and complain about how we can't get out than to take the ways that are, afforded to us. As dumb as this guy was, he could have actually got out. I mean, a lot of kids could get out with the whole voucher program, but they didn't want that shit. They just didn't want it. They please continue to send my kid to this failing ass school because I happen to live in the zip code that this school is, in control of. And it's bullshit. And yeah, I know the whole test thing. Naked Tiger's on a roll tonight. A lot of his friends couldn't graduate because they couldn't pass state tests. That is actually a really bad thing because there are some people who are horrible at tests. I mean, just flat out fucking horrible. and they can't do it. It like they clamps up, they clam up, they get nervous, they always think they're putting the wrong shit down, and they can't do it. And I don't know if I agree with the whole state test thing. I mean, you got to have something to have like a baseline of what a person knows, so that way you can kind of eliminate the people who are graduating fucking college or graduating high school with absolutely no basic math and no reading skills whatsoever. They can't comprehend shit, and like their highest peak in their life is their junior year on their football team, and that's just it. They gotta have something more. So I can understand having some kind of test to say, hey, Johnny, can you fucking read? Can you fucking write? I don't know how to get rid of it. I don't know if that should be like the end all be all for passing or not. But I think you got to have something in there just to say, hey, we need to make sure that you at least are learning a little bit in this fucking school that we're sending thousands of dollars to because you're there. All right, man. As I said, I'm sorry to everyone. I came in so fucking late, and I do apologize. I'm gonna wrap this up because I did come in late, and that's my fault. But um, it's 11:15 here, and I am about to crash. So on the real, thank you guys so much for everything. Thank you for listening. Thank you for stopping by. Hopefully, I will be on time next week. I'll try to post a video sometime this week coming up. Just to be on the real, I have had homework like crazy, and it has been kicking my ass. Um, I'm in college right now, trying to go to get my bachelor's degree. I already got my associates, trying to get my bachelor's degree in data management for IT. Yeah, the only problem is these fucking bachelor classes are hard as fuck for me because, yeah, I, pretty much breezed through the associates, all A's and B's and shit, thinking I was big time. And then I get to the, the real classes, the 300s and the 400s. It's like, what the fuck is this shit? So they're kicking my ass, but I'm holding I'm doing my thing. I'm holding it down. So if I'm not around as much, or if I don't comment, or don't comment on the videos, or if I forget to post a video, or I don't have time to post a video 1 week or two, don't think I'm off the face of the planet, or forgot about the church, or stopped doing anything. It's just honestly, again, it's really fucking hard. Truthfully, last week I was going to do the podcast, but I started doing my homework around like 6 or 7 o'clock, and before I know it, it was like 10 fucking 30, and I still wasn't finished. And I was like, oh fuck it, I can't get it tonight. So I do apologize. I was supposed to do it last week. Completely my fault. I just fuck, man. It took forever. So if y'all want to be mad, then please, I could give you my teacher's address. You can email his ass, tell him to lighten that shit up. So because we got church to do. Um, but thank you, Pugs. I really do appreciate that. And yeah, so I'm going to be in debt for the next fucking 90 years trying to get a better education to get out here and get a job that apparently don't exist. Thanks, Obama. No, I'm just fucking around. But seriously, everyone, I hope y'all have a nice and safe night. And again, I sincerely apologize for coming in late. Um, have a good night. Have a good 4th of July. You stay safe. For dear God, please don't drink and drive. Fucking Uber it, taxi, do whatever you need to do to get home safe. Remember, get home safe. That's the number one goal, number one priority when you go out. I love you guys. Thank you. This is St. Patrick, and I'm out.